But where are the actual good games?
It's something you hear quite frequently by people, aka Nintendo fans that only play Mario, Zelda and Pokémon after the last Nintendo Direct, obviously refusing to give any of those more quote-unquote boring IPs a try. These people are also known as filthy casuals. I'm just playing. Personally, I think it was overall a pretty great Direct. I know I'm late to the party to talk about it here, but believe it or not, I'm somewhat busy and I've been working on other projects too. I can't deny that the whole situation around Nintendo and the Switch 2 feels really weird. The reason for that is pretty simple. For a company that was stressing on how to make the transition as smooth as possible and trying to get as many people on board as possible for the new system, considering how the follow-up to a successful console usually went for them, they surely do a horrendous job, man. Like, I almost get the feeling they want to challenge their fate here. First up, the first year of the Switch 1 lineup is goated. You had Breath of the Wild, and I guess Snipper Clips and 1-2-Switch, Splatoon 2, ARMS, Super Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Pokémon Tournament DX, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which are 3 games that were already available on the Wii U, and 7 for the Switch. You had a massive open-world adventure game, a 3D jump and run, a third-person shooter, a kart racer, a 3D fighting game, a strategy game. You know what I'm getting at. It was a fantastic year for video games. And honestly, it continued to deliver. Every Direct had some bombshells for Nintendo's side in each Direct. Fast forward to the Switch 2, and obviously third-party support is through the roof. You know, I was kinda tired of hearing people trashing the capabilities of the Switch 2 already, although those people have no clue about tech. Now we have Star Wars Outlaws in 1440p with ray tracing enabled in a very stable 30 FPS, while only pulling like what, 15 or 20 watts docked and only 10 watts in handheld. Or Resident Evil Requiem, which was built with ray tracing in mind as well. And it looks pretty good, man. But it seems the Switch 2 is still trash, because the games look like PlayStation 3 games. You guys never owned a PlayStation 3, you don't know how these games looked. But their PlayStation 5 is running the game's visuals significantly better. Colonel, we have a serious case of big brain over here. Like, all those things said the person who never even owned a Nintendo console, and yet for some reason comments under every Nintendo related video. Makes sense of that. But what about Nintendo during this release year? We had a new Mario Kart game which was kinda underwhelming. The open world being absolutely underutilized in every way. Like, it is a beautiful world, but like, they force you to drive in a straight line, or you could also go ahead and collect one of the 1,000 stickers that they just have hidden in the world, for once again whatever reason. Then we have ARMS 2, No Legs, also known as Drag and Drive. The concept looks interesting, but why does it look like that? Has Nintendo made it? It looks just as soulless as the corporation that Nintendo is nowadays. Donkey Kong Bananza, I'll do a video on it soon, once I finish it on stream. Peak, the Super Mario Odyssey of 2017. Fantastic game. That's a reason to buy a Switch 2, unironically and most definitely. Switching to Pokémon Legends Z-A, which looks kinda sad. Man, it's sick that Mega Evolutions are back from X and Y, but are people genuinely hyped for this game? I know it'll sell good no matter what, most people don't care. They really slapped 2D images onto buildings, dude. Pokemon fans are happy no matter what. The game runs in 60 FPS on Switch 2, and people pretend like it's all thanks to Game Freak's incredible optimization techniques. I don't even know what to say anymore. Metroid Prime 4, which it is in such a weird position. It won't be a system seller for sure, but the marketing cycle for this game has been so weird. the trailers have been so kinda unexciting. If you look at them again, like sure, the first, if you see them for the first time during the Direct, it's hype and all, but the hype and excitement overall is kinda gone. I love Metroid, but man, after 8 years, I almost get the feeling that even Nintendo wants to get rid of this game at this point. Might I add, where is Prime 2 and 3? And also, why show a motorcycle that's riding in a plane even more empty than the planes in Pokémon Scarlet and Violet? Although I'm also wondering why a motorcycle in the first place. Like, it looks cool, of course it does. Motorcycles are awesome. But like, what about something like the boosters on her back, or the Shine Spark, or her morphing into a ball and just giving her the ability to roll twice as fast, or maybe 3 times as fast? It just kinda looks a bit out of place. I'm certain it'll be a good game overall, but the trailers are definitely don't do it justice much. Kirby Riders is cool, but I'm not sure if I'll get it. Like I said, it looks cool, but this seems kinda niche, which makes sense, I suppose. It seems more like a passion project from Sakurai, about a game that sold like slightly more than 1 million copies on the GameCube. Although I don't want to judge it just yet, since Sakurai said there is more that we don't know about. But it seems relatively basic for now, like content-wise, I mean. We also have Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, and look, I'm really excited about it actually. But I know a lot of people aren't, which I totally understand. Breath of the Wild has split the fan base, and then Tears of the Kingdom went ahead and almost completely alienated the old fan base, while also splitting the new fan base in half. And as someone who grew up playing Zelda games for as long as I remember actually, Tears of the Kingdom kinda killed the immersion aspect for me. Like the whole world building and lore and just feeling really invested in it. And obviously just not my immersion. That's the case for a lot of people out there that are just like me. And that's kinda it. Yeah, sure, you have Switch 2 editions, but you want to tell me that Nintendo was worried about bringing people over to the new system so badly that they just go ahead and charge people for better visuals for a system they just bought? And selling you Galaxy 1 and 2 for 70 whole buckaroonies? Or an additional free roam island with a little side note for 20 bucks. Which could get you Silk Song, by the way. As a matter of fact, for 70 euro you can get Clair Obscure, which launched for 50, and Silk Song for 20, which are both games up there for Game of the Year this year. What I find weird in relation to the Galaxy ports too is the lack of communication from Nintendo, which is getting worse and worse. And not just about the bad things, you know, also about the good things. Like mouse mode support and also the camera being completely reworked. And that wasn't mentioned whatsoever. Like, why? And those Switch 2 editions, surely it can't be that expensive to unlock the frame rate or up the resolution for people that bought the system. Like, I'm not a developer myself, but surely it can't be that much work. Then you kinda hope that the Direct will bring some light into the future of Nintendo, and they show you the Virtual Boy, which costs you $100 for some plastic. Plus you also gotta have an NSO subscription. That's quite outrageous, man. Or you can buy yourself some $25 cardboard to use it. Who came up with that? New Fire Emblem is hype though. I'm really excited for that. Although it is slated for next year. It is also the very first time that they ended the Nintendo Direct with Fire Emblem. But it is just more Fire Emblem on first glance. And that's nothing bad, of course, but that was your very first general Nintendo Direct post-Switch 2 launch. Mario Tennis and the new Yoshi are once again cool and all, but nothing mind-blowing, you know? Not exactly a showcase for the system. Technically Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bananza are just Switch games too, that transition to being a Switch 2 game eventually. and Metroid Prime 4 and Pokémon Z-A are cross-gen titles. A whole can of beans you can also open as well are Gamekey cards. And personally speaking, it kinda ruins Nintendo Directs for me, because sometimes you hope for a third-party game that you can play portably on the go, which is the whole reason for the Switch existing. But the thing is, and I'm not even over-exaggerating here, 90% of all third-party releases are a Gamekey card. Most of the games from third-party developers are a Gamekey card. A company like Square Enix even has the audacity to call it a physical edition. But Final Fantasy VII Remake is not... But Final Fantasy VII Remake is 90 gigabytes in size. Yes, almost exactly as the PlayStation 5 version, no? How on earth can a team at Ubisoft reduce the file size of Star Wars Outlaws from 60 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes on Switch 2, while the overall presentation looks, heck dare I say, nearly identical compared to the Series S version, that is, but we're talking about file sizes here. Cyberpunk 2077 is over 100 gigabytes on PlayStation 5, and yet they fit this bad boy with a DLC included on one single cartridge, physically. But they are expensive. Look at Hades 2, man. Indie developer, by the way. And yet, physically, it's just about the money, man. But you know what's also expensive? The amiibos. One Kirby Air Riders amiibo costs $50. And they were telling us that if you buy both of them, you can swap them around. Incredible stuff, really. It is cool. Yeah, sure. I remember buying Dark Samus, Chrom and Simon on sale for like 7 or 8 euro, and saw the Guardian amiibo and the Wolflink one with Midna for 20 euro, I think? But I guess now you have to pay like twice the price? You know what you also gotta pay for? Better resolution for a system you just bought, I said that before. Although, joke's on you, some Switch 2 editions aren't even Switch 2 enhanced. Like the base games of some games running identically to the Switch 1 version. And really you're only paying for some mini-games for the DLC. Paid DLC is something you hear more and more often too nowadays. It's becoming somewhat bothersome. Usually DLC was stuff they developed after the main game as an actual expansion. Not like the Donkey Kong Bananza DLC where they added the DK Island and the new mode, which could unironically be an unlockable post-game reward. I mean the island, right? And the new mode... Why was the Luigi Balloon minigame mode free in Mario Odyssey, but now we gotta pay $20 for that mode? Which is also, by the way, a $70/80 euro game physically. We are worried about the transition, they said. Now it makes sense why they said it in the first place, of course. Honestly, history is just repeating itself. Once again, Nintendo has found some incredible success, they get greedy again, and should've get humbled again with, I don't know, something. That's usually when they become slightly more consumer friendly again. It is quite an interesting time to be a Nintendo fan right now. Though for the time being, I'm using the time right now to work on my backlog. How do you feel about the whole situation yourself? And have you liked the video yet? You didn't like me mentioning that? Then feel free to dislike it too, that's fine by me. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm kinda tired. Shout out to all the supporters. Shout out to the person watching this video, which is you. Yes, I mentioned you specifically, that are still watching this video. You are great. I like you. Please, feel free to stick by. I like to have good company. Have a good one, folks. Goodbye.